You are as God made you, fucked up.
Hello and welcome to the Answers 11, the smartest icebreakers from the dumbest dudes. Have you not talked to somebody that you loved in a month? Do you want to have a better conversation with them than just being like, oh my god, it's been so long, how have you been? Ask them some weird questions and get the party started with your, joined by me, yes now, God of Vod Connor.
Hello. It's good to be here. To remind you that we all have off days. Even the God of Odd is sometimes extremely boring. And you can't just rely on current events to be interesting all the time. Frankly, things have been really boring on the face of this earth for years now. And you just, you got to come up with something to get a conversation going. Because you can't just talk about the hellscape every day. That's what we're here for.
And I'm your humble host, Evan. Yeah.
Yes.
So, is your instant coffee bad? Well, boy, do I have news for you, because there's a dude on the YouTubes called Ethan Road. I made sure to check before starting the podcast because I wanted y'all to know and actually give credit where credit is due. My partner is an information specialist.
Are we doing a commercial real quick?
No,
because you're supposed to tell me about those.
No.
Okay. All right. Carry on.
But I mean, fuck, the guy's got a million views or whatever. That'd be a boon for us. No, it's just, I just got some random YouTube recommendation and this guy's like, hey, does your instant coffee taste bad? Here's how to make it not. So the two tricks that he gave are basically, coffee cups are smaller than measuring cups. So measuring cups are 8 ounces and coffee cups are 6 ounces. So if you're putting 8 ounces of water when you're only supposed to be putting 6, your coffee's going to taste diluted and worse. And the other thing that is really the big game changer for me is that you can burn the coffee crystals with the boiling water, which I didn't think that was a possibility. Wow. I thought coffee only got burnt when it just sat on the warming plate at the diner when you're in there at 11:30 in the morning, hungover and just praying for something greasy. But no, the coffee crystals can burn. The trick is to add an ounce of water, cold or room temp or whatever, and just mix up your little sandy grindies until it's just a nice little coffee concentrate, and then you can put your hot water on it, and it tastes so good that you tell your friend on a podcast about it, and then the two listeners that are getting beamed directly in their ears.
I'm so glad.
That's my lesson to you.
I'm so glad that you learned to be gentle with your sandy grindies. Yeah, I guess that's what scalding is, isn't it? Burning something with hot water.
Yeah, you can scald milk. You can scald water. You can scald your arm.
Yeah, I've certainly done and probably all of those. Well, probably not the coffee part, but still, that's good to know. It's not going to come in handy for me because I don't drink instant coffee. But for you,
if you ever do,
I'll be ready.
Who knows? You might be at a hotel one morning and be like, "Man, I'm poor. I don't want to go buy a coffee. I'm going to use that packet that's on my nightstand next to the Bible and the Quran." I think they put both in now, or neither. I don't know. I haven't been in a hotel in 2 years. I have my Bible with me.
My travel Bible. That really does get at the heart of America. Do we need to add Qurans or subtract Bibles? What does the United States need now?
Different leadership, younger leadership.
No, Evan,
understand
Evan,
people.
We're just focusing on the top drawer in a hotel room. That's where we start. You think we can just create change with new leadership?
Then I'm going to vote add Quran. Because, hey, maybe you want to read something different. Not just Corinthians 12:18 for the 7th time. I wonder what Corinthians 12:18 is. I hope it's not a bad one. Let's look it up.
Ooh, Bible roulette, my favorite.
But in fact, God has placed the parts in the body, every one of them, just as he wanted them to be.
That's a great anti-suicide message.
I love it.
That's chillingly accurate for what you would want someone to think about. Keep your insides on the insides. That's what God wants.
In the top drawer of the... See, we need the Bible in there, so we need the Quran. We love you.
Yeah. I personally, I'm interested in the anti-suicide messages inside the Quran also.
Yeah, hell yeah. What is...
Evan,
I'm not gonna. I was gonna make a pun, but now I feel insensitive, so I'm gonna not do that.
Well, I don't. Hell no. Hardly, Evan. Heaven, yes.
Corinthians.
That's
all right.
Wholesome wordplay. Don't feel ashamed of that.
Most important first question of the day. How have you been, Connor?
I'm doing pretty good. I feel accomplished.
Nice.
I have finished a project that was a long time in coming, which I foolishly turned into a group project. The first solo part we got like 80% of it done in 6 days. And then the last 20% as a group project took 2 months, probably.
That's so long. That's too long.
Yep. And that group project is the Dungeons and Dragons Lego set, which is why we've got fun new addition to background up here. Let me just scooch the Pikmin aside.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, you killed it. Oh no. Can Pikmin die?
They die all the time.
Oh shit.
It's one of their favorite things to do. You have to tell them really, really hard not to die.
I just know that in the Smash Brothers, oh fuck, the Danny's here. He's hanging out. Awesome.
Oh, look at that.
We got a little friend. Olimar can go whoosh with the Pikmin and get back on the ledge.
Yeah, well, the part that you missed was that when the Pikmin don't get back on the ledge, they go and their little ghosts float away.
Oh, that's cute. What a wonderful way to die.
It's very cute and very sad, and it hurts every time because they're your little friends and you throw them into danger because you need to, and then sometimes they get eaten.
Talk about
anyway.
Life. Yes.
Also, dragon.
Cool. That's very good.
Lego dragon.
Oh, it's got fire. I love it.
Oh yeah.
Spitting that flame.
And then far less impressive and relatable also have this guy.
Well, hello there, Tipo. Welcome to the podcast.
Evan Tipo's here.
I didn't know that we had a third fucking guest on this podcast.
Yeah. He's been sitting on my lap the whole time.
Oh, cool. Are you going to let your it out now for all the world to hear?
No, fortunately, this Tipo doll doesn't have an openable mouth. So the screams stay inside, just like always.
Oh, thank God. Thank God. If only Elise were so lucky.
So yeah, I'm just gonna scooch Tipo right back here, right next to the right on the Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah.
Oh, he's as big as a castle.
There we go.
Tipo is a monster.
Yeah, and so if I got that just right, most of the time you won't see him. But then if I turn my head to the side, he's just gonna pop up and make really strong eye contact with you.
It's big eye contact, real. He's got special eyes, listener.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to describe it. It's not 1,000-yard stare because it's piercing.
For everybody playing along at home, Tipo is a doll from Tales of Xillia, a game that Evan and I recently beat after beginning it in
college.
Oh, yeah, like the mid-teens of the new millennium. Give
or take a decade, man. We're bad at being friends. That's why we have a podcast now.
Yeah, we started playing that game immediately before living very far apart from each other.
For the sum of our lives up to this point now.
And Tipo is the doll of one of the characters in your party. It's a very Japanese RPG, and he opens up gates to hell on a regular basis. It's an extremely useful character.
Yeah, incredibly deadly. Very, very good murder boy doll. He's very fun.
And that was my character. And Evan so kindly bought me that Tipo doll. Not a curse on my well-being whatsoever. Piercing eyes or not.
I thought I was doing a nice thing for you. You didn't have to take them. Part of you wanted a Tipo.
I think that you know, Evan, that I did have to take the Tipo. What would have become of it?
I would have loved them. I'm looking at getting a Tipo for myself.
Little matching set.
But no, there's one on eBay where he's got like sleepy eyes. It's very cute.
Well, as a new, fresh owner of a Tipo myself, may I just warn you, the nightmares are rough.
That's fair. Dude, I had nightmares recently. They're not worth talking about on the podcast, but like, if it's accelerating those, I could pass.
Probably not accelerating as much as putting a fun new Tipo twist on them.
All right. I like the sound of it, at least. For you. I like this. I like hearing it from you. I don't want to experience it. I like it as the sound, and I want it to stay oral.
Well, speaking of staying oral, Evan, how have you been?
Oral, AURAL, meaning of audio. I'm doing good. It's hot as heck in here, but things are going well. Been messing around, nothing too special. I made pineapple chicken tacos for dinner, and we're starting to pack up the apartment to move to our next abode. So that's dope. It's getting stressful, but we're groovy. Things are groovy. I've learned how to make coffee that tastes better, and I already liked the taste of my shitty coffee. So like I'm living the dream here, guys.
I love how low you set the bar for your own coffee, and then like just had to barely tweak it right over the top of that little toadstool-sized bar, and now you're living the dream. Hell in a coffee space that most people would find horrendous and intolerable.
Man, I had we're out at the Goodwill probably a month or two ago, and I got myself a coffee drink for the first time in ages, and it was a nice little treat. It was like a fucking candy bar, you know, with all the sugars and the milks and stuff. But I was like, ooh, this is nice. Don't want it all the time. I do prefer my acidic garbage, but it was nice. It was like a raspberry cream blonde roast latte thing. It was like bougie as fuck, but like I liked it. The lady was very nice.
Yeah, sounds like.
Also, we bought a giant
coffee.
fucking TV.
Nice.
That's another thing that happened.
Great thing to acquire right before a big move. That's good.
We are spending the money we saved on a transportation box because they sell them.
Smart.
Yeah. No, but thing's dope. It is. Our old TV was like 35 inches. This one's now like 50 inches. I don't know how big TVs get, but like it's enormous to us poor folk.
Yeah, it's one of those like pizza math things where I can't really understand the difference in volume when you add a couple inches. For
your sake and for our two listeners, we're excited about an 8-year-old TV. So that's where we're at. It's like, oh, it's so big.
Yeah, that's the headline. Nice. And so as you and Leah are packing up, have you found so far that you are still holding on to pack rat tendencies of, all these precious things that I need and can't get rid of? Or are you starting to realize, why do we even have a back scratcher? When's the last time you used that to scratch your back? Let's throw it away. Or
we haven't
donate it.
We haven't gotten to that point yet. I have previously started packing up some clothes to give to the Goodwill that do not fit or fit my personality anymore. And we have talked about the displeasures of a side freezer, not a top or bottom freezer, but one of the doors that's opens on the left, and it's just a really lack of space freezer. We went through that for the first time in 2 years, and
no.
sorted that. Unfortunately, sizable amount of food waste, but hey, we're going through the rest of that shit.
Man, I'll tell you, freezers really act like they're going to save you a lot of food. The whole point is to avoid spoilage, but really it just lengthens the spoilage period.
Yeah, it does. Because you're like, oh, I'll get to that later. Oh, I'll make some extra curry so I can have it when I don't know what else to eat. Well, then it ends up in the back of the fucking freezer. And then when you're about to move, you're like, oh, well, this has been there for 2 years.
There's no way this is edible. No chance. No chance at all.
But on happier thoughts, I want to ask you, Connor, what song do you listen to just for the opening?
Whoa. You didn't even roll a die or anything before you asked me that question. I don't know how to respond.
I did. I don't know how you didn't notice me do that.
Oh, okay. All right. Fly Trapped in a Jar by Modest Mouse.
Oh, with the dun, 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 dun. That part?
Yeah. Because it seems like such a gimmicky, stupid thing to be like, hey, what if I use my instruments to replicate the sound of a fly that was inside of a jar? And you expect it to be like just unpleasant and
some
like
kind of not operatic, but like something that a pit makes, like fucking Flight of the Bumblebee.
Yeah. And like Flight of the Bumblebee is a good tune. They made it work. I see an expression on Evan's face. I'm pro Flight of the Bumblebee.
I don't care for it.
Really?
Yeah, I much prefer Fly Trapped in a Jar by Modest Mouse, though.
Well,
we can keep talking about that because that's a dope-ass song.
Fly Trapped in a Jar is, in fact, a dope-ass song, and they do an incredible job of making it sound exactly like a fly trapped in a jar without making it bullshit and overly technical and just, like, ooh, what a crafty, use, like, so expert, so well done, so executed. It's just like, it's good music that also sounds like a fly trapped inside of a jar.
And then Isaac Brock goes fucking nuts because he's an insane man.
Yeah.
No, that's a good one. I know, man, I remember in high school, Nate was saying the same shit as you, just like, that opening is perfect for the song. It's not overdone. It's just like, it sounds exactly like a fly in a jar. And that it's music.
I gotta think they just discovered it. Modest Mouse as an organization. They were just like in separate parts of the room, just like messing around. And then someone comes in and is like,
you're a fly?
What the fuck? Are we inside of a giant jar here?
Can someone kill that fly?
Is this some bold new take on horror classic The Fly? No. It's our next hit song.
I wonder if that song was well received. I know some of the singles off of that album was, I think Florida was one of them. I know Dashboard definitely was.
Yeah, Dashboard was big. Florida.
Yeah.
I wish Modest Mouse would write a song about my state.
I don't. That means Isaac Brock is near me, and that means I'm in danger because that man's crazy.
There's something broken inside of him.
I still couldn't think of the fucking. Oh, you go on.
I was going to say good music flows out of that particular spot that's broken, but still broken.
I do you ever listen to the interview he had for off of Strangers to Ourselves, the song Pistol?
No.
It's like, why? Because like A. Quanon or something, Cunanan, the parenthetical,
QAnon?
I think. No, not that was before QAnon.
Oh, the good days. That's right.
Yeah, back when we weren't in hell. Back when we were in hell, but it was masked. When we were
in hell that didn't have QAnon, really.
Yeah. Fuck. But yeah, no, I think the song was like, he was either a murderer or fucking serial killer, with flavor of something. But he's like, why is that the subtitle? Because it doesn't make any sense that he would be there. Why would he be there? And it's just like Isaac Brock just kind of like droning off into the distance and like, I love this fucking song. You're a madman. Thank you for making music, and I don't know what else you would be doing, but thank you. I'm glad.
So what song do you listen to just for the opening?
I have several, but the one that I have to go with, because not only do I listen to the song for the opening, I listen to the song for the opening of the album, because it is the perfect way to open both a song and an album.
Oh, I know this
and
one.
It is Intro Bombs Away by Foxy Shazam.
Yep. I've heard about this one before, but please, Evan, I don't get tired of hearing you cavil about this particular song.
Sure are a lot of dogs out this evening. Perhaps they could assist me in a song. Ruff, 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 yeah. Ruff, 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 yeah. Like, the fucking just dumbness of that kind of opening, the weird warble to, what's his name? It's like Nally. Is his name Nally?
I don't know, man.
It's gonna bug me. Lead singer Eric Nally. It wasn't Nally. I was gonna say Rand Nally, but I'm like, no, I'm thinking of Rand McNally, which is the Atlas that Ben Gibbard sings about in a different album, which isn't a song that I listened to for the opening. I barely like that song.
The song
but
that
Intro
you
Bombs
are
Away,
listening to.
It opens with the weird warbling of Eric Nally's voice going into this weird a cappella thing of people pretending to be dogs or dogs pretending to be people. I still don't know to this day. Singing this beautiful little tune, and then the fucking build of the drums with the ba-da-da, 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 and the guitar coming in, and then just Eric Nally letting loose this goddamn primal scream that lasts way too fucking long. He holds that until you are uncomfortable. It's perfect. It's perfect. And then the rest of the song kicks in with the fucking keys. It's so good. Every song should open. Every song, opening song on the album. Fuck. Foxy Shazam did it. Pause the podcast. Go listen to it. Come back. Listen to the podcast. We'll stop streaming it to your ears. This song is worth it. Fuck you. It's amazing.
Sounds like a cat break to me.
Cat break. Do we have the fucking rights to put it in? I'll just clip in the scream. Just the.
Man, yeah, Eric Nally. I gotta say, I'm not gonna pretend that I love Foxy Shazam. I do get tired of Eric Nally at a certain point.
Not for that album.
He's just like pure confidence. There's just not a hesitant bone in his body.
My favorite memory involving this man is that Leah, Aaron, and I went to the Adventures of Kesha and Macklemore. And we had a great time with Kesha, and then Macklemore was headlining that night. So lights all go dark. It's this big old build. Drums are coming, beats in, and then floodlights right on top, center stage. It's Eric Nally. Macklemore is nowhere to be fucking seen. Eric Nally is just singing the hook to the song with all of the dancers and all these shirtless dudes drumming, and then Macklemore starts running around like a dude who got on stage. Not like the guy who's fucking supposed to be there, like the guy from front row who somehow slipped by the guards is like, holy shit, I'm on an arena stage right now, motherfucker. This is dope as shit. Whereas Eric Nally is still fucking singing his heart out, being the goddamn front man of like the platonic ideal of a front man. And that was how Macklemore decided to open his show, by giving the literal spotlight to another artist.
No one's going to do it better than Eric Nally.
I love all the songs of Macklemore's that he's featured on. Just keep doing it. Just keep having him on. He's got a great voice for it. Fuck.
That would have been Downtown, if I'm not mistaken.
No, it was another track after that one. It was the album after that.
Ah, well, smart that he kept good ties with Eric Nally.
Yep. Ain't Gonna Die Tonight. I ain't gonna die tonight. You can't kill me, not my spirit. He still does the Eric Nally shit.
What else is he gonna do? He's spent his life up to this point perfecting Eric Nally shit. You can't just turn your back on that.
No, it's very good. And the bass player of Foxy Shazam has a tea company.
It's good. It's, everyone's got a side hustle these days.
Everyone, we all got hobbies, baby, and we're moving up in the world, Connor, into our hobby of beaming podcasts to two people. And our next question is, who was your first media-based crush? And I'm going to just go into my answers because I have a parenthetical here that reveals my answers, but I think it's really funny, so I want to read it to you, Connor.
Please.
The parenthetical says, I can change it to celebrity crush, but my real answer is Sailor Uranus. If they have to be a 3D person, Lindsay Lohan, but let's be honest, I'm me, lesbian anime girl.
Lesbian anime girl.
The answer is still Sailor Uranus. Because it can't change. It was my first one. I had a dream about her that we went on a Ferris wheel together, and I'm afraid of heights, so I got to hold her hand because I was scared. And then I wrote a note that said that I liked this girl, and then I hid it in my Pokemon 2000 VHS case.
Holy shit, dude. That is the 90th dream I've ever heard.
Right? Fucking right? Do you want to go back in time? Because it's my fucking brain.
Okay, give me a second to recover. Okay.
I just thought she was cute. She had short blonde hair. What did you want from me? Anything different?
No, man. That's everything I wanted from you in your answer for this question and more. And I didn't know that you were going to back it up with a dream that included a Pokemon VHS as the all-important MacGyver of your young romance.
If I ever go back to my dad's house, I will try to find that VHS for you. I know like over the course of my life, I have gone back to that VHS tape, pulled out the tape to look in the box to make sure the thing is still there, and then replaced it. I don't know if I ever threw it away. I hope in my shameful years as like a pubescent person didn't. Because like as an adult, I'm like, that's fucking hilarious.
It's really good. That's a cherished artifact of your childhood.
It's oddly specific. I don't remember much of my childhood. There's reasons for that. But this is one of them that sticks there, man. Also, the thing that I appreciate is how consistent I am. Because, as Leah has pointed out, my interest in art is, don't take this the wrong way, sapphic. I didn't understand what that meant, but apparently I like artwork that is through the lens of a woman admiring a woman. So I take that as, apparently, I'm pro-lesbians. Hell yeah, ladies. Apparently, I think you're cute. I'm sorry.
Where's your lesbian knife, Evan?
Non-existent yet.
Yet.
Notice the yet.
That's got to be next, right?
Dog.
In the line of pride knives that you've been picking up?
Well, Leah said that the easiest one to make next would be pan. So I might do pan.
Is it?
It's like 3 colors. Leah said it's like 3 colors.
I think the lesbian flag is 2 colors. That's 2/3 is easy.
I don't think so.
2/3 is difficult.
Lesbian
1.5 times as easy.
We're bad allies. That's a lot of stripes. Lesbian pride flags featuring 7 different shades of pink, orange, white, and red.
Oops.
I thought there was like brown in it. I don't know. All I know is Leah always asked me to name the pride flags based on the yarn at Joann's, and the lesbian one is always the one that gives me pauses. I'm like, I don't know. Yes, you do know, Evan. Is it the lesbian flag? Yes, Evan, it's always the lesbian flag. Why do you get hung up on this one? Apparently it's colors that just don't stick in my brain.
Well, being colorblind, I think, gives you some leeway there.
Also, having a knife would probably make me recognize it better.
That's true. You'd see it on a daily basis.
All right, Connor. Who was Kid Connor crushing on?
You know, I should have spent this time doing the research so I could come up with something.
I'm
more
sorry
specific.
that I just like fucking sent you back to the past, Samurai Jack, with my 90s ass answer.
You know, I think I might actually know this actress's name. I think chronologically, I got the 3D crush before a cartoon crush, like yourself.
I watched a lot of anime as a kid. It's why I'm the way that I am. I'm sorry, God.
Yeah,
You put some cogs in the wrong spot there, buddy.
Sorry, I mean, you should have known better than to drop Evan into a tank that had anime in it somewhere. you thought they weren't going to find each other. I mean, come on, omniscience. Don't try to pull that with us.
Divine immaculate plan. You knew what you were doing, buddy. We all need to deal with this mistake.
You are as God made you. Fucked up. Anywho, I want to say Allison Scagliotti.
Those are syllables.
In
who is
Warehouse 13.
Please, she's got pretty headshots. I'll give you that much. What is Warehouse 13? Who is Allison Scagliotti, other than American actress and musician, according to Google?
I have no additional information for you about Allison Scagliotti, but I can tell you that Warehouse 13 was a sci-fi original series.
Okay.
Probably got probably a good 4, maybe 5 seasons.
I don't know. I don't watch TV.
But it was procedural, and it was all about like, hey, what about if something from history had magic powers? Well,
neat.
Luckily, the government has a whole department where they find all of those magical artifacts and hide them away. You kids really like that thing that they did with Raiders of the Lost Ark, right? Well, we're going to do that, except it's going to be all the warehouse instead of just the last 30 seconds.
Okay. There was a warehouse in the Indiana Jones movie?
Raiders of the Lost Ark? Yeah, man.
I still haven't seen it. Every single time it comes up, you're always like, you haven't seen it? You should see it. The first one and the third one's good. And then Leah's like, oh, but the second one, though. We saw you last weekend. This happened.
It did happen. I wish I could say my memory loss is so profound that I don't remember any. No, but Evan's right. He's absolutely right. I already forgot that he hasn't seen
it's all good
Jones movies. Anyway,
yes.
And Allison Scagliotti was an attractive woman in it. She had a part, and she played a sassy, disrespectful person, and she had a pretty face. And at one point, a line from the show that I'll never forget, something had just gone well. There was just like some happy coincidence or something, and someone was like, oh man, it was nice that you were here, Allison Scagliotti's character. And she said, well, serendipity is my stripper name.
Okay, that's a fun response. Definitely from its time, but fun nonetheless.
Yeah, I had to look up serendipity.
I had to look up serendipity because of goddamn Phineas and Ferb.
Ah, you got there through a different TV show. That's fun.
Yeah, because it's like something would happen and Phineas would go, how serendipitous. I'm like, what the hell does that mean? Fancy word from fancy kids show, teaching kids things.
They say TV don't teach you nothing.
They have that whole thing about the aglet on the shoelace, and that's how Leah knows it. And I knew it because I was angry one time.
I knew about the aglet from The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
That's another Disney, John.
Yeah. Yep. How about that? Yeah. They it was Ashley Tisdale's character and London Tipton were like just in the middle of a tiff. And so it was like, well, what about this? No. And what about this? And like they were just really upset. And then London was like, oh, what about that little tiny round thing on a shoelace? And that holds the tip together. And then like Ashley Tisdale's character drops the irritation, and she just acts confused. You mean an aglet? And you go,
Yep.
yeah. And she goes, no. And then they go back to fighting. And it was pretty funny.
Okay. Yeah, that's cute. Yeah, I think I just was... I don't know if I was talking about shoes or something, but I was angry because I didn't know what the metal holes in a Converse was or the thing on the tip of the shoelace. So I did some Googling, and then it was one of those, those weird things that you look up once and it sticks in your brain forever?
Yep.
It was one of those moments. God, the human brain's fucking weird.
Why
do we do
really
this?
Weird. It's incredible how limitless our memory is and how utter shit our memory is.
Yeah.
No one has ever remembered so much stuff they couldn't remember more stuff. But it's also so hard to remember the things you want to remember.
The thing that still gets me about the human brain is that the placebo effect's a thing.
Man, I tell you, the placebo effect is real shit. If you could bottle the placebo effect, it would be the most powerful medication that we have.
A literal panacea. Like, I've always said, like, I will take any cure, even a placebo, because that means it fucking worked.
Yeah.
Like, I've read studies where fucking cancer went into remission because of it. It's like, how the fuck? Brain. Did you know that we only use 10% of our total brain capacity?
Don't do this. I know that you're just trying to get a rise out of me, but it works every time, and I don't.
No, Connor, trust me.
No,
This is our new in. This is our new podcast.
Your brain using 100% of your brain is called a seizure. So that's what happens when everything in your brain is firing at the same time. People do use their brain, 100% of their brain, all the time. It's epilepsy. It's a bad thing.
I knew we used like most of our brain. I didn't know that that's what a seizure was. So thank you for the lesson.
Yeah, it's just all kinds of random bullshit firing off at the same time. It's like saying, we only use our toilet 5% of the time. Well, like, yeah, dude. Yeah, because why would you just want it constantly flushing? That's not what it's for. You use it in a specific pattern in a specific way. Hey, did you know we only use our toaster 0.5% of the... Yeah, man, because you only need it when you're heating up the bread.
Have you tried like running your car hot for a long time on a long road trip? You know what happens if you don't give it brakes? It does. It breaks down.
It gives itself brakes.
Something's got to fucking give. And that's how the brain be sometimes. Yeah. So to distract you from more of this stuff, I'm going to ask you another question. You don't have a say in the matter. You are contractually obligated as the deity of this podcast. Oh, sweet. Speaking of anime from the 90s, Pokemon is a wellspring that springs eternal, Connor. What gym are you running? Give me the typing and the name of your badge. Also, if you want to do a bonus, describe your team and the gimmick.
I do. I have a lot of love for a lot of different Pokemon. I don't know that I know them well enough to organize them in my head by type. That's tricky. I'm always really drawn to the fighting type Pokemon.
Okay.
I cannot pull that off as a gym leader. No way, shape, or form.
Some motherfucker kicks in your door with a goddamn Kadabra, and you're like, well, okay, just take the badge. Just take it.
And yeah, man, like they're just also beefy. They're also strong. Like all the people who would work at the gym would be able to beat the crap out of me. So I can't do fighting types. What about you? Do you know what you're not going to do?
Oh, I know what I am doing.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
So
let me hear what you got. Maybe that'll help me sort through the typings.
First things first. I do need to let you know that fighting does seem fitting for you because I do name my Makuhita / Hariyama after your dad in every game that I play. I don't know what it is about that Pokemon, but I'm just like, Mickey fits.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You could effectively say I come from a fighting line.
It fits exactly, like no space, just perfect characters. And for like, man, he ends up being a bruiser on my team. It's a good Pokemon. Your dad's a good Pokemon.
My dad is a good Pokemon.
All right. So as much as I love Faulkner, I am a Gen 2 boy. My knowledge kind of ends with Hoenn, but I hung around in Johto for most of my upbringing. I am not going to be running a flying type gym. I'm going to be running a bird type gym. And the badge would be called let's call it the Talon badge. That'll be fun.
That's good.
We'll call it the
That's
Talon
good.
badge.
Yeah.
Because as has come up with conversations with you, and I'm sure if you have been privy to the concurrent beaming, you know that I have a penchant for birds. So that's the type of bird leader that I would be like. I would really like to have I name all my bird Pokemon after names of the wind. I would love to have my Pidgeotto Zephyros just chilling on my shoulder. But the reason I was going with bird, not flying type, is because I'd have a Hawlucha on my team, and that motherfucker's a fighting type. Because you're like, oh, I'm going to be rolling in with all this like electric rat or something else that hurts birds. Well, guess what? Seismic toss, motherfucker. Hey, how about a brick break? Get trounced. Because you're going to be being like, oh, I'm just going to go zap these birdies out of... No, you're not. You're going to get fucking punched in the face. So I don't think that Pokemon has enough gyms that cover their weaknesses. So I thought it'd be fun to have a fuck you pick. And Hawlucha was my fuck you pick. And then I talked to my friend Mindy about this. And apparently, according to the game's code in Pokemon Red and Blue, Missing No is labeled as a bird type Pokemon. So technically, I could have a fucking glitch on my team.
You could be the gym that everybody gets stopped at if they get a pirated version of the game.
You're right.
A Missing No could pop up, and then that's just it. You're hard locked.
Yeah, I like that. But yeah, my gimmick is like, you think you're coming for a flying type, and then I've got fucking coverage with my birdies. Because you need to think, coverage. This game is for children, but children need to be taught hard lessons young.
That's right.
Because life sucks, and I want you to be prepared for it. I'm sorry.
Children of the world, Evan's got a message for you. Get good. Can you have a bird type gym? That sounds like something that happened, but you're going to need to refresh my Pokemon.
Like I said, Faulkner in Johto was the first gym, and he was the flying type gym.
Uh-huh.
He had like a Pidgey and a Pidgeotto because, again, he was the first gym, so he was just steamrolled. Might have been a Spearow. I'm not sure. I know he got his birds from his dad, so it's like, dude, you didn't even do the work yourself. Your dad trained those. Come on, show a little love.
But you said it was going to be a bird type, not a flying type. Did I get that right?
Like, I didn't say that it's not a flying type, but people are going in thinking it's going to be flying type. But I got birds with coverage.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because I think there's like one of those fossil Pokemon that's like a rock bird. Fuck you, little Pikachu. Zap this, bitch. I really want to pick on electric field mice right now. I want to take a fucking 2'6" rat and just punt it with my fucking luchador bird.
The Pikachus they've had it coming for a long time. You know, they've been coasting.
Also, like when Ash fought Lieutenant Surge and Pikachu used his tail as a grounding, like, why can't we do shit like that? It's like the first season of Yu-Gi-Oh! where the rules don't matter and the points are made up.
And so, do you have
Yu-Gi stabbed the moon?
Do you have a specific gimmick around the birds aside from just this is gonna hurt?
No, my main gimmick was surprise.
Mm-hmm. Okay, all right. Okay, I've decided. I've had enough spare brain while I was listening to bird type that I was going back and forth between psychic and what I ultimately chose, because
Yep.
psychic feels like it makes sense. If I'm going to be a psychologist, that kind of flows, doesn't it?
I do like, I know we keep bringing it up, but I do love you like lounging on the chaise lounge and just like flicking Pokeballs nonchalantly. I do like that image, but please go on with what you are actually going with.
And how does this make you feel?
I hope it hurts.
And it would be easy enough to find all the Pokemon that have feelings types. Like a lot of them have feelings gimmicks around, like these feel whatever everybody else around them is feeling, or when they get angry, they explode and kill people.
Yeah, and you've got like
fun for children,
calm mind, amnesia,
all that,
double team.
But it feels a little on the nose. And if I'm in the Pokemon world, I want a different job now. So I'm gonna have a dark type gym.
Ooh, fun. What's your badge?
My badge. My
badge
badge is,
name it.
Yeah, my badge is going to be the Stoic badge.
Ooh, what a great name. Ooh, I like that a lot.
And the whole point of the gym, the gimmick behind it, if I'm Surge, I just got out of the military and I like lightning. The dark gym is going to be ethical rehabilitation of dark Pokemon.
Oh, that's fun. I was thinking Dark Knight of the Soul.
That's pretty good too, but maybe a little bit hard for Pokemon.
Hello, child. Would you like catharsis? I see that you don't have a paternal figure in your life. Would you like to call me dad?
Man, I like not that far off. I feel the dark gym, I want it to be a place for, maybe not that far from my original job now that I think about it, but a place for people who've been through hard stuff and like edgy folks who just need to be around other edgelords. I just kind of need people to be cool about it for a while they figure themselves out.
So it's just like a bunch of ex-Team Rockets and biker type Pokemon trainers with like fucking nicotine patches on their arms.
Yeah, the ones that are they're trying to get their lives together. Like some of them have been through a rough divorce. They're really grappling with the choices they made while they were a part of Team Rocket. A couple of punk kids who just need some, we just need to get these kids off the streets. Like
we have the one youngster there who just like, the dialogue is a little bit concerning, but you realize that even the youngster doesn't realize how deep he's in. Yeah. So gosh, I don't have enough dark Pokemon off the top of my head, but the basic idea is going to be, sort of in the like pit bull rehabilitation kind of adoption sort of play of like, man, all these awful people picked up all these Pokemon just because they thought they were nasty and terrible, and they made them do awful stuff. And we want to give them a better home and a better life. And also we want to kick your Pokemon's asses with our newly rehabilitated dark Pokemon. Oh, I love that. Like because like the first ones that came to my mind, I think Sneasel's a dark type. I think Gengar's got some part type. I think he's like Ghost Dark now.
Maybe a Mega Generation, or maybe. Like the Mega thing might get him to be dark.
But I like the idea of just like, you've got one of your, what's it like, Gothita or Gothiel
for sure.
Just serving tea to like the other trainers and Pokemon. Because like you have a welcoming open gym. Because like we play these games as the forces of nature. Let's be honest, like 10-year-old forces of nature.
Yeah,
but like they're gyms. Like people do come here to train and get stronger with their Pokemon and grow closer. So like, I definitely see you having a very open, welcoming space. And then it's like, oh, you want a gym battle? Let's go, motherfucker. And then like the lights go off and then the dark Pokemon come out. Yeah,
gleam in the eye. It also maybe potentially a place for people to kind of go to face their fears. If you've ever, maybe this might be too deep of a cut. Did you ever see that one VeggieTales?
I've never seen a VeggieTales.
Well, there was a some of the VeggieTales were very explicitly like, hey, Jesus is good. And that's the VeggieTales thing most of the time. Sometimes they were just like, you know what, kids kind of need some lessons just about life and stuff. And one of the VeggieTales episodes was about like, hey, you know how scary movies are? Well, those are all just actors, and they're wearing face paint most of the time. And like, they're just like you and me. They're just pretending. And one of the scared little veggies got to meet a big like zucchini looking motherfucker who played Frankenstein. And he got to learn, hey, it's okay, actually. You don't need to be afraid. I'm a nice guy. I'm actually not scary at all.
Yep. That's really cute.
I think, you know, for all those people out there who were hurt by dark Pokemon, they could come by and kind of like slowly get used to being around them again and kind of find their courage.
And then your Darkrai comes out and you're like, what the fuck? That's a legendary. How did this nerd get him?
Man, and I can't remember, but one of my new favorite Pokemons, I can't remember the name. It's a dark and fairy type.
Ooh, that's fun.
It's basically Bayonetta, the Pokemon. Except not incredibly sexualized. Okay. It's not one of those Pokemon, though they are out there.
If we lived in this Pokemon world, and I weren't the bird trainer, or even if I were the bird gym leader, I would have to have a Scraggy. And Scraggy is a dark type, so I would bring Felix down to your gym to get some training on with him.
You know, and one of the things when you talk about gyms being a place for people to come train, one of the things that never occurred to me when I was a kid, but I found online is obviously every gym leader would have 8 sets of Pokemon. Depending on how many badges you already have, you need to hit the toughest set of Pokemon that they have. Or, you know, because if you ever thought, Brock's a real pushover, how come he hasn't leveled his Pokemon up past 12? It's because those are the Pokemon he brings out for people who don't have any badges. If you had already gotten 7 badges and then went to go see Brock, he would have like level 60 Pokemon.
He's got like a Sandslash and a fucking Golem.
Yeah, it would be a very, very different bout.
That's so cool. And that makes so much more, because like Brock has such a fucking cool, like he's got this pose.
Yeah. He's
and, like it's more intimidating with him because I'm a fucking scrawny dude, so I don't have like fucking guns.
Yeah. But he looms.
Brock does.
He does. He's got like a mountainous kind of posture in just those handful of bits they put together for him.
Man, you've made me care so much more about pixels now. Thank you for sharing this. That's awesome.
You're welcome.
Man. I just want to be a gym leader now. Fuck this podcast.
Man, fuck this world. Why can't we have Pokemon?
Right?
Instead we have QAnon.
Can you believe we're on the last question of the day, Connor?
It's pretty dark out, so yeah, probably.
Okay, cool. Let's get into it then. Final question of the day. You are a cat burglar. What are you famous for nabbing?
Oh, boy. Oh, that's really tough. I'm famous for nabbing suits of armor, and I wear them on the way out.
That's so good. Fuck you. Fuck you. I can see it. It's like Pink Panther fucking just like, boop, that thing move?
You just stand next to the art and like gesture at it, and they're like, wow, they're really putting on a cool display.
Oh, that's good. Oh, that's so fun.
Yep, it's one part living statue, one part cat burglar.
Yep. I like that. All right, I need to go deep. I need to go deeper with you. Which one are you most proud of stealing?
Which suit of armor?
Yeah.
Oh, definitely a set of samurai armor.
Okay.
For sure. I think because on that one, I forgot to wear the appropriate padding. And so I was partially naked underneath the samurai armor because it's not as all-encompassing.
Yep.
And so that would also have the added element of the Simpsons movie where Bart is skating home in the nude and there's just like an insane amount of coincidences keeping his junk hidden. That's my proudest moment because obviously really as soon as somebody sees a naked man inside of the samurai armor, the jig is up.
Yep. Oh, that's really good. I like the story where you were stealing the casual armor where it was like just some plating, but it was like an officer's regalia where it, like your face was still visible. It was like a hat as opposed to like an actual full face mask. So like you were just running around in a costume at that point. Like they could see it was you.
That's a good one.
Because you're a cat burglar. Of course they know what you like mostly look like, other than your little mask or whatever you're wearing.
But I mean, at a certain point, they're going to identify, man, this guy usually steals very tall armor.
Right? Wow, it needs to be at least 6'2", right? Or are you 6'3"? 6'6".
Yeah,
Connor is 17 feet tall. He's got to duck a lot.
Don't tell anybody. But actually, all of your measurements are wrong. I just checked. It turns out by the original calculations, actually 17 feet. And nobody else seems to understand that.
All right.
What about you, man? What are you stealing? You're a cat burglar too.
I am known as the Tipsy Trickster. Ooh. Because I like to break into fabulous soirees before they are held and steal the finest vintages.
Oh, that's really good. I like that.
Yep. And like I'm definitely the one where it's not really the dead of night kind of thing where I'm like, like breaking into windows and stuff. I'm schmoozing with lovely debutantes and whatnot. I'm the kind of cat burglar that's out on the floor dancing, but also like doing my machinations to get the casks of wine rolling down into my little horse laden carriage, and I can steal off into the night as I steal a kiss from my latest damsel.
That's really good. Very romantic.
I like the elegance of the cat burglar where it is that kind of ostentatiousness. I don't want the hidden in the shadows kind of thief. Like there is the putting yourself out there. The danger is what makes it electric.
There's no element of violence to it, which makes it a lot easier to enjoy.
Heavens no. I'm like, I definitely feel like, I don't know if Zorro kills people, but I feel like the Zorro type where it's like but how
he's got a sword. He's got a sword. He does use that on a regular basis.
How about what's it, the dread pirate from Princess Bride?
Oh yeah, no, he kills people too very regularly.
Does he kill people in that?
You might be thinking of Wesley.
That's who I'm thinking of, because he was the dread pirate at that point.
He was, that's true. But he doesn't steal anything.
No, but what I'm saying is like that kind of fighting where I am adept, but it's mostly to shame you.
Sure. And also not lethally.
Yes.
He very specifically spares people.
When he doesn't fight you to the pain.
Well, yeah, there was
that, but that,
well, except for that time when he did really threaten to like torture and maim the shit out of that one guy, but he deserved it. So it's okay.
I mean, that was also a huge fucking bluff, so he didn't die, right?
Yes. Yeah, at the time he was mostly paralyzed.
Yeah. So I just remember he like collapsed and going, "Oh, thank God." But yeah, but no, that like the kind of
good
like
movie.
It is. It's a good book too. It's a book that I, an illiterate man, have read.
Letter by letter, sound by sound.
But yeah, I think that'd be fun, because I think part of the fun in cat burglar as opposed to burglar is the schmoozing and the playing with the law. Think Sly Cooper. Have you played Sly Cooper? I mean, he fucking kills people, but that's neither here nor there.
but without the kid. Can I make a suggestion? Because you've inspired me.
Yeah, please, by all means. That's what these conversations are for. C2 listeners, we have conversation based on weird questions, because they're just cute. And sometimes you just want to wear a mask and a cape and dance with a pretty lady.
Because this has so much like swashbuckling Robin Hood kind of energy to it. I do, because you're there at the party when they realize the vintages have been taken, right?
Yep. And that's when it's like disappears, but I show up in costume as it's like ta-ta.
You simply must replace the most expensive vintages with something awful. so that you can see the hoity-toityest, bougiest person order the very, very finest thing, only to take a sip to find out it tastes like piss, and then to like shout dramatically, "Trickster!" And then there's you with your sly smile and like, "Ha ha!"
Yep. That's very good. Oh, I like that. I also like that it adds a like a scribe or someone very good with calligraphy and penmanship to be able to recreate the labels to my coterie.
Oh, you got a sidekick. That's
apparently
right. At least
I can't do everything. Like, let's be real.
Yeah. You've got a very, very dedicated forger.
Yep. And it's like, I mean, let's be real. I don't really drink a whole lot, so I assume that I'm getting most of it for them.
Yeah. You're band of merry men, drinking the night away.
Yeah, I have the glass, but it's my cohorts who help me out who get the most of the spoils.
That's a good time.
This is fun.
It's still not too Robin Hoody. I think it's very distinct because but it's still like very good natured and very like down with the 1% kind of energy in terms of let's take the fanciest, danciest stuff away from the rich folks and just drink it like it's nothing.
Yeah,
and party with it.
Yeah, we're not stealing from the rich to give to the poor. We're stealing from the rich to steal from the rich,
and get drunk about it.
Apparently,
yeah. Nice.
I just thought like really fancy booze would be a nice fuck you.
Yeah, it is. It's very good.
It's not as funny as your suits of armor, which I know we've gotten lost in the. I love the word romance because it is romantic.
It's got a lot of Scooby-Doo energy.
But your Scooby-Doo little, it just, where the fuck do you put it all? Like, why does he keep taking all this shit? It's so good. Rare vintages. Yeah, that's good. I love it. There is, you said swashbucklers. I think it's worth putting on blast. I haven't played it yet, but I did purchase it on the Steam sale. There's a game called On Guard, where you play as a swashbuckler, and apparently it's like you do the kind of stuff where you run around and you like kick barrels into people so you can take out a guy one at a time, as opposed, because it in the like dev thing that I watched, they said, yeah, if you get mobbed, you're going down. You're not like taking out everybody, but you can take out one guy. You can do like one. It's like the point of the game is getting people sidetracked so you can duel one of the people one-on-one and then like kind of keep picking them off in gallant style, which I think sounds fun.
Yeah, and I like that, especially because those kinds of tropes get a lot of flack for like, well, why do they all go at them one at a time? But really, that's the skill of the swashbuckler and the skill of the kung fu master is you don't realize how much work they're putting into separating them out so that they can only come in one at a time.
Right? To like, what's it like? Most battles are won in the preparation.
That's right.
Feel like I played a video game that said that.
Yeah, that sounds like good loading screen wisdom for a video game.
It was Tales of Berseria. It's what Arthur would say to Velvet when we were in the tale. Not the tale, but like the past.
Yeah, that's like Arthur Wisdom number 2 or something.
Literally the fucking video game that you and I are playing together.
Yeah, the most recent video game that we've
God damn it, Leah's right. My brain only works on the most recent video game that I play.
Well, at least it works.
At least it works. And at least you've made it to the end of the podcast. You didn't need to listen this far, but you did, and we appreciate it. Can't believe you got another one in the bag, Connor.
Hey, just rack them up. Keep it going.
A lot of fun. Yeah, if you want to help us out, tell your friends. Rate us well on your streaming service of preference. These are how words work. You want to get your questions asked and answered? Send an email to your God of Odd Connor at
lemonanswers@gmail.com.
That is lemonanswers@gmail.com. Hey, did you know we're on social media? We sure don't, but we post anyway. You can find us.
Dude, that's right. We are on. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. I remember like every night at like 8 and like, oh shit, I gotta post the thing today. So yeah, if you want some half-assed memes, find us at...
The answer's lemon on social media, except for Twitter.
Yeah, fuck Twitter.
And on that note, enjoy your evening or day.
Yeah. Love you, bye.
Wait.